Ximena, go ahead and tell us, where are you from?
Hello everybody, my name is Ximena Valero. I'm a fashion designer. I born in Mexico City. I grew up in Tijuana, and I've been here in Los Angeles for 17 years. And it's a pleasure to be here with you today, Jessica. You inspire me a lot. I follow you, and I love your energy, and I just get excited when I see your post. That's the reason why I keep following you. You know, I grab some energy from you. You're so sweet. Yes. So, what can I tell you about myself? I started sewing really young. When I was 9, my mother put me in a class for sewing. I didn't want to go, but with Mexican mothers, you don't have a choice. You just have to go. Right. So that's what I did. I went, and the teacher was very sensible about teaching a little girl, 9 years old, and she teach me how to sew. She measured me. She makes some patterns herself, and then she teach me how to cut and to sew this skirt and a top. So I came home with an outfit made by me, 9 years old. That was so powerful. You don't have an idea. I really felt superwoman. And after that, all my time was dedicated for sewing, for destroying things that I had, and creating, amazing things, and dreaming about one day being a big designer. And continue, to the journey in my hometown, and finding the best teachers to work one-on-one, and learning how to sew, how to do painting, how to do photography, a little bit of everything. I like to be very hands-on. Plus, with my mother at home, she couldn't see me doing nothing, so I always had to be doing something. So I became workaholic. Thank you, mother. No, I cannot complain. So I developed a lot of skills, different skills. Doing makeup, doing hair, styling, photography, even modeling. I did some modeling in the beginning of my career, and everything pointed to go to San Diego, California, where me and a group of friends created a business for photography, and we started doing the glamour shots, right? And we started doing a lot of pictures, become very successful young, around 20-something years old. We were making decent money, and we were respected by our community, doing a lot of fashion and things. And we just felt very confident, and we felt, let's go to New York, let's conquer the world. So we go to New York, and things were a little different from in San Diego, right? So we crossed the street with, I remember crossing the street with 500 people, just crossing the street casually, right? So I was feeling like this big, and I was like, oh my God, this city is really big, really the big apple. So I started humbling myself right there, Yeah, I was very lucky to be able to work for Victoria's Secret when I arrived in the city. And at the nights, I have to work for the photo studio that me and my friends created in San Diego, and now became the New York fashion group. Oh my God, so serious. So it was not easy to get successful in New York. The city, it was a little tough. But I never forget all that struggle that actually, make us to get more united and get more ideas of how we're gonna succeed. So this is where the story begins to create what is now called transformable fashion. So basically, we didn't know anyone in the city. Luckily, like I said, I had a job, but that couldn't cover everyone's else, expenses. So we didn't have any clients. So we went out to look for wannabe models in the street and stop them and bring them to the studio and said, let's just do our magic, right? So we did all this work, and we sent the models with a portfolio to the agencies. So the agency said, well, we love your look, thank you, but who did these pictures? Because we need them here. no, we're actually not too interested in hiring you guys as a model, but whoever did this portfolio, we need them here. So that's how everything started, and we start photographing all the agencies in New York in our little studio in Church Street. And then we started to get so many models, around 5, that was our limit. We can do 5 models per day and do different looks. So I was in charge of creating all the looks and making sure we have clothing and we make sure that everything matches. So didn't have enough clothing, as we know. Yes, this is where when the story gets interesting.
Yeah,
okay?
so just, wait, it's pretty loud.
Oh,
The siren.
from the newest magazines, back in the days when we used to use magazines. And basically, I was also using some items, let's say a skirt, and I put it as a top, and then I use it as another different thing. So the agents were very impressed about the clothing, and they were wondering if that was Balenciaga or something like that, because it looked like that. No, it was not that. It was just made in the spot. It was just reposing the clothing in a different way. So pretty much they asked me to come to the elite models. John Casablanca, he passed away already. He's tremendous support in my career and give me the opportunity to basically do my first fashion week in New York, because they asked me, Ximena, we really love what you're putting together. Is this you, or how do you style this? I said, oh, it's just me. I'm just pinning this. I'm just grabbing items and creating with my creativity based on the trends. So pretty much they asked me to do a 2 weeks fashion show for Fashion Week. And that was basically the beginning of my career. That opened the doors to go into different countries and present collections. And after a couple, like a week, or like 2 years of traveling and presenting the same dresses over and over, finally arrived to Los Angeles. And then I started learning how to mass produce these dresses, right? Because I used to just make one and then people order, and I was like, oh, I don't know, like I just have one, I can sell it to you for a lot of money and that's it, right? And then later I said, I'm losing a lot of money. I'm making a lot of money, but I'm losing a lot of money. So I have to learn how to mass produce this. So I came here and I learned the way of mass producing. But what happened is when I arrived 2007, actually was a big problem in the economy, right? So I arrived with very beautiful dresses from New York, a lot of success, wanted to sell it in California. And I got into the problem with like people said, we love it, but we can afford it everywhere. Right? We love your dresses, we can afford it. So I was thinking, what am I gonna do? I need to do something. So I remember these dresses that were being able to wear in different ways. And I said, I'm gonna create a collection of dresses that the boutiques can tell you stay here.
Well, I'm living in New York, and for whoever been in New York, it gets a little tough, a little too much. You need to get out of the city. So I basically just came as a vacation, but then when I saw the ocean, I was like, oh, forget about New York, I'm staying here. And then I have here my family live here, and I thought it was the right time for me to move forward in a different direction, which I learned how to mass produce. Everything was more the fashion district in Los Angeles is where a lot of people come from different cities to do business and produce stuff. So I just stayed here, and it took a long journey for me to learn the process of finding a beauty. And I stay here because it's near my family. They're in Mexico. I love the weather here, the culture. There's so many things to do. I would like to go somewhere else, but I will always come back to Los Angeles because home feels like home. Sometimes I get tired of it, but I come back. So.
Yes, I think everything that you do, I always watch you traveling all over and doing awesome things, and having you here in LA has been a blessing, and keeping the Latin culture alive and the warmness that a lot of us have. you know, we gotta keep collaborating, keep working together, and I know that you have your TikTok, you know, that you just launched, and you're gonna be selling stuff on there, so you guys gotta go check that out. But as you are so inspired by your amazing wardrobe.